What is up, YouTube? James Baek here, and welcome back to another episode of VGC 2018 Baek Battles. The support you people have been showing is insane lately, and I just hope that I can keep this up. So, we're using this Empoleon team again. If people don't know how the series works, I don't think I've explained it. I usually use a team for about 7 episodes, and then we switch to a new team afterward. So we got Empoleon, Charizard, Sylveon, Landisfarien, Zapdos, and Tapu Bulu for today's episode. And we're going to get started. Now, if you haven't checked out the previous episodes, I highly recommend go checking them out, as always. But let's play some games and have some fun. So if you haven't already followed me on Twitch, I highly recommend doing so. Yesterday, well, actually no, the day this goes up is Wednesday. Monday I've already been streaming VGC 18. Wednesday, which is technically the day this video goes up, I'm either streaming Sun and Moon, Pokémon Tournament, DX, or both, depending on my schedule. And if you are interested in any of those games, especially if you want to keep watching like more VGC stuff, which is the series you're watching right now, I highly recommend doing so. I also do viewer battles as well. Usually I like to do that. I'll probably be switching it to Monday since global maintenance is usually that time. So I'll probably be doing like viewer battles on Mondays or maybe Fridays. It depends on like what my schedule is, but definitely expect viewer battles. Expect, battle spot streams. Expect maybe some friendlies with one of my friends like on stream, so definitely expect that. But anyway, it's taking quite a while to find a battle. Then again, I did climb up, and I think I'm actually in the current top 10 of the championship battle spot ladder currently. So we find someone, thankfully. It's usually hard to find battles higher up on the ladder, especially since at this time not many people are playing right now. We see the team of Slowking, Marowak, Persian, Mimikyu, the Tapu Bulu, and Snorlax. So I actually believe I know this team. I believe this is the team that won Toronto Regionals, if I am correct, in VGC 2017. So this should be kind of interesting. No Mega is definitely something that's interesting to note here, but yeah, we'll see how this one goes. I like, there are a lot of Pokemon I like. Sylveon's one of them. Like, my opponent doesn't really have a good Hyper Voice switch, and Mimikyu Snorlax is a bit annoying to deal with. I think I want to go Sylveon plus Charizard here, because I think it can just do a lot of damage to my opponent's team. I don't really have a good answer to Mimikyu Snorlax, though. I don't think that's like an answer I had when I made this team. That could be a problem. Maybe instead of Mimikyu Charizard, Sylveon Charizard, I want to go Sylveon Landers, because I think it's more effective. And have Charizard in the back. Tapu Bulu does a lot. And it's probably my best answer to handle the Slowking my opponent brings. So I think I want to bring the Tapu Bulu. The only problem is that potentially the Mara could be a bit scary to handle. So, I don't know. I don't like this matchup, but we'll see how it plays out. Because I'm really not liking the Mimikyu Snorlax, because it looks like my opponent can really set up Trick Room very easily and then sweep with Belly Drum. So I'm going to lead Lander Sylveon here. We'll see what my opponent decides to lead. It's going to be Persian Mimikyu. Okay, that's a lot easier to handle in my opinion. That's a lot easier to handle in my opinion. Especially since Spec Sylveon's putting in a lot of pressure. My opponent doesn't really have switch-ins. Parting Shot could be a play my opponent makes, which I could definitely see here. But right now, I just want to fire off a Hyper Voice right here and a U-turn. If I remember, I don't remember what item the Mimikyu was. I'm pretty sure it was Ghostium? Or maybe it was Darkium Z Parting Shot Persian. But we're going to see the fake out here, which is tying down my Landers, which is fine because I get a huge Hyper Voice off into these Pokemon here, and that's going to be doing a lot of damage. As you can see, knocks out the Persian, which is great, and breaks Mimikyu's disguise as well. However, that's a good play by my opponent, sacking the Persian right away, because now Mimikyu gets a Trick Room, and I still don't know what set it is. It could be Z Destiny Bond, which could be really, really hurtful to me, as Snorlax is probably going to come in here and probably start setting a Belly Drum. The good thing is my opponent doesn't have Intimidate on this team, which is like something that's really beneficial here. I think I could go for Hyper Voice here. The question is, how slow is that Mimikyu? Because if that Mimikyu is really, really slow, then I could potentially just go for like Tectonic Rage because I outspeed the Mimikyu in Trick Room. But I kind of think this would be a slow Mimikyu if he sets up the Trick Room right away. Although Z Destiny Bond usually runs fast Mimikyu, it's hard to tell, to be honest. I think I do want to try Tectonic Rage, though. If I can get it off, that would be fantastic against my opponents. So as Mimikyu actually switches out, which is fantastic for me. Slowking's going to come out. I do not mind this. If my opponent has a Trick Room, I mean Belly Drum here, that's really good. Oh, my opponent actually went for the Belly Drum. Nice, 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 nice. I get a knockout on that Snorlax. So I don't think Belly Drum was the play there. Because I don't... Well, I guess maybe my opponent doesn't know I'm Specs Hyper Voice and maybe Tectonic Rage Landers. But here we go. Specs Hyper Voice, Sylveon putting in some work right there, and Tectonic Rage. Actually, that Hyper Voice didn't do as much as I thought. I'm hoping this Tectonic Rage does more damage. So, Tectonic Rage going to be coming out from this Landers here, and let us see if it can take down the Snorlax. Snorlax is a really bulky Pokemon, but this is Landers variant. Base 145 attack. Snorlax doesn't have the best physical defense in the world, so let us see. So Snorlax is going to be going down, and that's my opponent's basically the only offensive pressure my opponent really could have offered here. And that is absolutely huge. So we're going to see the Mimikyu going to come out. I wouldn't be surprised if we see the forfeit here, actually, because my opponent really doesn't have a way to win this. Slowking can't really offer much offensive pressure, neither can Mimikyu unless it has Swords Dance. But even then, it's going to be taking a powerful Hyper Voice right now. No matter what, my opponent can't really stop that. Unless maybe Slowking carries Disable. I don't know if it gets disabled, but it's just going to fire off a Scald anyway. So Scald's going to come out into Landers. Doesn't pick up the knockout. I don't care if it gets burned, to be honest. It does get burned. But it doesn't really matter here. Going to go for the Hyper Voice right here. And this is going to do a massive amount of damage. Yeah, look at the damage. It's not as powerful as it used to be, though. So we do see the Z move, but it's actually Twinkle Tackle. So it wasn't Z Destiny Bond at all. Okay, that's good to note. I thought it was Z Destiny Bond. But then again, Twinkle Tackle makes sense because, like, other Persians could be a huge problem to this team, which I can definitely see. So, yeah, Twinkle Tackle makes a lot of sense here. As it's going to target my Landers, but, you know, Burn Landers really isn't really helping much right now. So, Landers is going to go down, but Sylveon's still in a phenomenal position just to click Hyper Voice here. And Sylveon, it looks like, yeah, my opponent couldn't really break through this. I will go out into my Tapu Bulu right here and click Hyper Voice and Substitute, I guess. Or I could just click Hornleech, but this game should be over. Sylveon should just get one loud scream off, and that would be game. So, Sylveon, the first battle we bring it to the series, is actually doing a lot of work. Which is funny because the last time I streamed to Sylveon, every game I brought Sylveon, I ended up losing. But Sylveon actually being able to pull off a lot of work here, getting a massive amount of damage with that Specs Hyper Voice. But to be honest, it's kind of disappointing. If you don't know, if you played other... Ooh, Heal Pulse, okay. Although I don't think it should change this game much because Hyper Voice plus Hornleech will still knock out Mimikyu. But yeah, if you don't actually know... Oh! Rindoberry. Huh. Oh yeah, it was Rindoberry, right. So Slowking is going to go down there to the Hornleech. And this is a single target Hyper Voice coming out into Mimikyu. Shouldn't pick up the knockout by the damage it did in the last... Oh, never mind. So Mimikyu... going down to the Specs single target Hyper Voice at, what, 85%? And we're going to be able to pick up a win. But if you don't know what happened to Pixelate, in Generation 6, it actually used to be 1.33... No, wait, no. It was a 1.5 boost. Okay, am I getting it correct? I actually don't remember if it was 1.5 or 1.33. I'm actually going to look it up right now. Hold up. Okay, so okay, now I found it. So in Generation 6, it used to be like 1.3 or it was 1.33. It was one of the two. I can't exactly confirm it because it doesn't seem like the information is reliable. But I think it was 1.33. And then now in this generation, it's 1.2. So, yeah. So it's a significantly weaker, and we can tell by the damage it's been doing. Like old Spec Sylveon, this is max special attack. It would have done a lot more. But anyway, during that battle, I didn't really have much to say. I'm like, I just click Hyper Voice and attack here, try to KO Mimikyu potentially if it gets Trick Room up. Or if Snorlax gets in, I have to get the Tectonic Rage off somehow. So, yeah, and luckily my opponent didn't protect there with Snorlax. If my opponent actually protected with Snorlax, switching to Slowking, it might have been more problematic because he could Belly Drum, then Heal Pulse. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't have mattered because Heal Pulse would go either before or after the Snorlax, which doesn't go after my Sylveon. So I would have still been able to pick up the knockout onto Snorlax potentially. But if he protected my Tectonic Rage there, I wouldn't have been able to pick up the knockout with Hyper Voice and then Rock Slide or U-Turn. I would have probably had to go for Earthquake right there. So we got Nanny here, and this is the QR code team I am very familiar with. I've been playing a lot against this team recently. Kangaskhan, the Uh, forgot what the dragon's name again. Landorus variant, Heatran, Tapu Fini, and Cresselia. Now, what do I want to bring against this team? What did I lead every time? I think it was... I know what I led against this team, right? Wasn't it Empoleon Landorus? I think it was Empoleon Landorus here with Tapu Bulu and Charizard. Yeah, I'm pretty sure those were the four. But anyway, yeah, I've been facing this team a lot on ladder recently. A lot on stream. I think we saw it in the last episode as well, or the episode before. And then I've been playing some Battle Spot offline, testing some new teams, and I have been seeing it as well. So yeah, this is pretty common. It's Sludge Bomb, HP Ice on the Dragon, as my opponent's going to lead Tapu Fini plus Cresselia, which is fine here, because Empoleon's going to be able to take hits, and I can probably just fire off a... Let's see, what was the Cresselia's moveset? I think it was like Icy Wind, Helping Hand, Trick Room. I don't remember the last one. So Misty Surge is going to activate. Intimidate is pretty worthless here. I'm pretty sure I can just go for a Scald into the Cresselia. And U-turn out with my Landorus and try to go into Tapu Bulu for some grassy terrain. Threaten that Fini, as Tapu Fini is going to get boosted by this Helping Hand from Cresselia right now. So that wonders if it's a Muddy Water or potentially a Moonblast in the Landorus, anticipating the U-turn going out into Tapu Bulu. I don't want to switch in Charizard. Unfortunately, I don't really have much switch into this Tapu Fini. I will go out into my Tapu Bulu here. But yeah, if I lose Tapu Bulu, it's one big factor against the Tapu Fini gone. So yeah, great play by my opponent if it's the Moonblast. But if it's Muddy Water, I take this. Yeah, it's Muddy Water. Okay. I'll gladly take that. Very safe play. Gets a bit of chip on Empoleon as well. This is Specs Muddy Water. That didn't do much. That's Specs. I'm pretty sure the QR code was Specs. So Scald is going to come out into the Cresselia. Nice bit of damage. Nice bit of damage. And I'm pretty sure you don't let Tapu Fini stay in against my team. So I'm pretty sure if you have Heatran in the back, you're going to go into it. Or if you go into that Naganadel. It could be that Naganadel. But I'll go for probably Woodhammer knocks out Cresselia. I could also just Scald the Tapu Fini slot and substitute up, which actually seems like a very safe play here because Tapu Fini, I think, is forced to switch out here. Yeah, and Heatran or Naganada is coming. It's Heatran, so I guess sub up, basically, and I don't think my opponent can break through that sub, and I guess Scald off. Ooh, Sunny Day. Oh, that was the last move. Now I remember. That makes things a bit significantly tough, but it's not too bad of a situation, as I do get a free substitute up with my Tapu Bulu, so Tapu Bulu will be able to take attacks pretty easily, and I do get a Scald off, but it's not going to be doing too much to just Heatran under Sun. It actually did a decent amount, but this grassy terrain is kind of healing the Tapu Bulu, which is not favorable for me. The Heatran's faster than my Empoleon. Okay, that's good to confirm as well. I wasn't sure if my Empoleon was actually faster or not. So I'll go for Icy Wind here, catches anything on the switch potentially, and I'll just go for a Woodhammer into the Cresselia to get some damage off and potentially pick up the knockout, which I think it might be able to. Icy Wind's going to come out. If this actually breaks my sub, that's a huge misplay by me, but I don't think this breaks my sub. Maybe I should have protected Icy Winded there. I think Protect Icy Wind might have been a better play, but it doesn't. Okay, Woodhammer going to come out into the Cresselia, should pick up the knockout. Yeah, okay, nice. So Cresselia goes down. Let's see what my opponent's going to go for, as it should be the Heat Wave once again. Yep, Heat Wave once again. Empoleon voice attack, very fortunate there. Less damage I can take, and Empoleon should be able to live like a low kick or anything now from my opponent. So I would assume my opponent's last Pokemon is Kangaskhan then, as I do get the Icy Wind off. So this Heatran's going to be slow, and my opponent no longer has speed control unless it's that Naganada in the back, or yeah, that's the name, or however you pronounce it. Like, I knew the name because I didn't. Like, I have content planned with that Pokemon soon. I just can never remember in Team Preview. So, nice, we get the Icy Wind off on Heatran. That's really significant. It allows my Empoleon to outspeed, so once the sun comes out, Empoleon can potentially 1v1 the Heatran. Landorus is going to be my opponent's last Pokemon, so not bring Kangaskhan. Maybe doesn't have the Keystone again? That would be kind of funny, but yeah, I'm definitely going to need Tapu Bulu alive, and this looks like a perfect opportunity, actually, just to go for a Ice Beam. Let's see. I have Charizard in the back. Charizard doesn't really mind taking a Heat Wave. The problem is I kind of want to sack Empoleon, but Empoleon could actually win compared to Charizard, which doesn't really do anything. So I think I'd rather go into Charizard and Protect here. Although I feel like I would have had like okay, this was a struggle because I was like, okay, Empoleon could do as a good backup plan, but if I sack Empoleon there to make Tectonic Rage, then I get a free switch into my Landers, and that really puts on pressure as U-turn's gonna come out. Oh, I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that. That's really nice, actually. I'll take that. As Tapu Fini is gonna be coming out, and I don't really mind Tapu Fini coming out. So Tapu Fini is gonna come out. I would have preferred to get an Icy Wind or Ice Beam off potentially though. So Misty Surge is going to activate on the field. I'm going to need my Tapu Bulu to handle the Tapu Fini. So I feel like the play is to get damage off. The problem is Misty Terrain, right? Misty Terrain weakens the power of Dragon Claw anyway. Fire Punch is probably more effective on the Fini. I definitely need my Heatran alive in this game. So I think I'll go for a Fire Punch. Okay, how many turns of Misty Terrain are left? Not Misty Terrain, Sun. 2, okay. I think I'll weaken the Tapu Fini right here for Horn Leech potentially later on in the game, and I'll go into Empoleon right here. As the Tapu Fini is actually going to switch on to Landers, which is a good play for my opponent, but this actually helps me because I get Fire Punch damage onto the Landers, which I do not mind at all. So that works out for me, sort of. It does, actually. So Tapu Bulu is going to switch out, going to go out into Empoleon on the Heat Wave potentially, or yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a Heat Wave. So I'm going to get a huge Fire Punch on the Landers, and chip damage on the Landers is really helpful for the end game plan for my Landers and Tapu Bulu combination to work against my opponent. So Fire Punch is going to fire off on this Landers. It's -1, but it's Tough Claws boosted in Sun. Yeah, it does a significant amount of Heat Wave. Charizard or Voice Attack. I don't think that really matters because I'm pretty sure Earthquake knocks me out. But not sure if Earthquake knocks out Empoleon afterward. I'll go for Dragon Dance. Okay, so Landers could protect here, and Heatran could go for an attack here. Ooh. Well, if that's the case, I think that would be fine regardless. I think I'm going to go for... Well, if you Tectonic Rage to Empoleon, because Earthquake might not pick up the knockout at this rate. Well, then again, Heat Wave shouldn't knock out my... there's so many plays. I rather Fire Punch here. Because if you Tectonic Rage, I at least get rid of Landers. And I'm going to Icy Wind here. Let's see if Landers doubles out back into Tapu Fini or goes for U-turn. I could definitely see that play as well. But if I get rid of Landers, that's really good. And yeah, Landers is going to protect here. So I'm guessing it's an Earth Power here. I don't see a reason really to Heat Wave. If it's Earth Power, maybe I should have went into my own Landers, which would have been a safer play. And looking back at it, he was either going to Earthquake or Tectonic Rage and Earth Power. So that makes a lot of sense here. I should have went out into my own Landers. But getting a free switch into Landers is pretty safe for me because I don't want to risk my Landers on a Heat Wave crit. As my opponent actually does fire off a Heat Wave, so I do not mind that as much. Sunlight's going to fade here, which is perfect. As I could probably just make some maneuvering switch-ins with my Landers right here. And protect my Charizard. So we're going to see the Landers actually withdraw on the Tapu Fini. It looks like my opponent really doesn't want me to get my own Landers in. Just for, like, pressure. Because the fact is my own Landers can Tectonic Rage to knock out the Heatran. But with that Landers switch in, like, it makes it harder. Because he could always switch in that Landers into a Tectonic Rage. So very smart of my opponent of how he or she is playing right now. As I will protect my Charizard, and I'm pretty sure it's a Heat Wave or maybe an Earth Power this time. It's going to be Heat Wave, so never allowing Landers to come in. I like that play. So Heat Wave is going to come out. Doesn't 2-Hit knock out my Landers, though, and that's kind of huge. I think I want to... I kind of want to Fire Punch Tectonic Rage to Heatran because I either get maybe the knockout on Heatran if it doesn't protect here, or I maybe get the Landers. Actually, it shouldn't matter too much. I'm going to Fire Punch the Heatran slot, anticipating Landers again, and I'm going to protect my own Landers because I'm pretty sure Charizard's going to go down anyway. I would not expect Heatran to stay in. I would expect it to protect or at least switch out. Yep. So Heatran's going to protect here and Fire Punch into that Heatran. Muddy Water is going to come out. Hoping this connects because I would love that free switch into Tapu Bulu. It does connect. Nice. So Charizard's going to go down here. And now I can get in my Tapu Bulu. Yeah, Tapu Bulu. And I get a Horn Leech off, and since this Heatran's at minus, I think 1 or 2 speed, I'm pretty sure it's 2. But it's either minus 1 or 2. Because it stayed in. Yeah, it's minus 2. So I'm guaranteed to outspeed outspeed the Heatran, at least get a Horn Leech off. And I'll go for U-turn into the Tapu Fini as well, because even if Heatran stays in, I get a powerful Horn Leech, and yeah, I kind of expect the Landers to come in, because it allows your Fini to live 1 Horn Leech, and if you get rid of my Landers, your Heatran can do a lot of work. So I never want that to happen, so I'd rather make this play right here and go for the Horn Leech into that Tapu Fini, which can be really beneficial here, as I will go for the U-turn into that Tapu Fini, do a little bit of chip, which puts it ever so closer to Horn Leech, but I don't know, maybe Wood Hammer was the play, but I'd rather get the recovery, because it allows me to handle the Landers better. So Empoleon's going to come back out, as Muddy Water's going to come out. I'm hoping for no accuracy drop. An accuracy drop would suck here. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, good. So we get the Horn Leech off into the Tapu Fini. Look at that recovery we're getting. Look at that recovery we're getting. And now we get to heal back all that HP. And I don't think Rock Slide plus Muddy Water will pick up the knockout. And now it's the question of what does my opponent do? Like, I could see a lot of switches going. Tapu Fini can't protect, so it's very likely that the Tapu Fini would switch out here. And I don't know, I could see maybe Landers U-turning here. Yeah, I could see Tapu Fini switching out and Landers U-turning, but I think the best place to Horn Leech right here and Icy Wind, because if Landers decides to pick up a knockout, it's probably going to be into Empoleon, as we're actually just going to see the U-turn out from the Landers. No switch out from Tapu Fini, so sacking the Tapu Fini there, which, well, either way, like, no matter what, my play is to win with my own Landers, so I do not mind that, as Heatran's going to come out here. Muddy Water's going to come out here. As long as I get the Icy Wind off into these Pokemon, I should be good. But it's not really looking too good for my Tapu Bulu. Horn Leech just connects. That's not really an important one, though. As Icy Wind comes out. Oh, no, no, no. This Tapu Bulu live 1 Muddy Water. I'm pretty sure it might, but still. This could make it a bit of a tricky end game, that's for sure. Well, at least Empoleon will be able to outspeed this Heatran. Well, it does. And I'll be able to Flash Cannon to Tapu Fini for damage, no matter what here. The problem is he can predict that and go for Earth Power. But I guess that's fine. No matter what, I'm pretty sure Empoleon might be taking Earth Power here. So I'll protect my Tapu Bulu here because I'm not sure about the Muddy Water. Actually, no, I would be faster, wouldn't I? And Heatran protects too, which is great here. As I'll be able to get... Oh, it is faster. Okay. That was... Oh, wait, because I missed Icy Wind. Right, that's why I protected. I thought Icy Wind hit for a second. Okay, so Muddy Water coming out. Please, 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 Empoleon. Please, please, please get it off. Oh, my lord, Empoleon. That makes this game a lot harder. Yeah, it definitely makes this game a lot harder. I'm gonna Horn Leech to Tapu Fini, and I always Flash Cannon to Tapu Fini. I would love to go for an attack into that Heatran right now to weaken it for my Tectonic Rage to protect, but I can't exactly do that because Tapu Bulu might not hit its attack, and I'm pretty sure with the grassy terrain you might have recovered enough to get it. And Empoleon gets knocked out to a crit, it looks like, yep. Empoleon, please hit. Okay, at least something goes my way. I can still win this, fortunately, especially if he misses Heat Wave here. So, get the knockout on Tapu Fini. I'm pretty sure Heat Wave is going to be coming out. Maybe HP Ice just to guarantee the knockout. I would HP Ice here, to be honest, but might go for Heat Wave. Heat Wave is going to come out. Does connect on my Tapu Bulu. And now it's going to be a interesting mindset to this game. The question is, I have to call right when Heatran doesn't go for Protect. So I go into Landers here. We're gonna trade Intimidates right here. I really wanted Tectonic Rage to Heatran turn 1 because I don't expect him to protect the first turn. I don't think you should protect the first turn. I feel like you should HP Ice here. So we're gonna trade Intimidates. I feel like this might have been Adamant Landers because every time my Landers has always won like a speed type potentially. So if it's Adamant Landers, that gives me an advantage sort of. But yeah, I'm protecting here. I could go for Rock Slide because it hits Landers and could flinch the Heatran even if it does attack, but Protect is just a safe scout because I really need to scout for this Heatran's Heat Wave here. I mean Protect. So the thing is, if I Tectonic Rage into Heatran, it won't KO because this one carries a Shucker Berry, I believe. So Tectonic Rage will Protect, especially at -1 with Intimidate, won't be able to knock out Heatran. So I won't be able to pick up the knockout to the Heatran with a Protect, and that's pretty big because Landis is going to be able to get a few Rock Slides off, which is not good. And then Heatran being able to survive the Tectonic Rage prevents me from going for Earthquake right away. So I'll Protect here, Scout for what my opponent's going to do here. Landis is going to Protect, okay. That double? No, I think... Oh, it was Protects. It was Protects all around. So... Okay, so... This appears now to grassy terrain. I think Tectonic Rage is to play now. Heatran might Protect still, though. The reason is I want to go for Tectonic Rage here is because even if my opponent decides to Protect, I can Earthquake next turn. Rockslide might not be able to knock me out, and if I get one flinch or he misses once, I do win the game. And luckily he didn't Protect here, so let's go. I kind of had a feeling he might not either, because like Heatran had the ability to Protect. I think my opponent knew that and decided, hey, I might as well go. And besides, Landers could still potentially win here. So I'm going to be able to get Tectonic Rage off. Even though this is -1 and I believe Shucker Berry Heatran, I should be able to pick up the KO here. Just because it's already taken some chip. Yeah. It is Shucker Berry. But, you know, Tectonic Rage from Landers is just so strong here. And we're going to see the Rock Slide come out and target down my Landers. No crit. Yes. And as long as I don't miss my Rock Slide, I should be good. Especially since it looks like I have been outspeeding every turn, so I'm pretty sure that is Adamant Landers. I like Jolly, though. I like Jolly Landers a lot. Rock Slide. We hit. I'm not sure if that's U-turn range. I don't think it is. Okay. Doesn't crit me. Okay, if U-turn actually does knock out here, I would go for it, but I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. I feel like he could live on a sliver potentially. And we hit the Rock Slide. Let's go. And we're going to be able to pick up a win. A double win in today's episode. That was close. That was close. The Muddy Waters were definitely a bit annoying. My opponent definitely did play the switching game well. But luckily I was able to capitalize off like key crucial turns like that Heatran catching it, not protecting, getting the Tectonic Rage off. And yeah. My opponent always really liked to keep the board position, which I really like. Like keeping the Landers in the back was such a great play by my opponent because by keeping Landers in the back, by always switching to Feeny whenever Landers was out, you get to have Landers in the back so you can always pressure, 1, Intimidate, 2, Tectonic Rage switching. So I really like how my opponent played, but we were able to come in through that guy and... well, guy or girl, I don't know. But thank you all for watching today's episode of VGC 18 Back Battles. If you did like it, please leave a like down below. Shows your support, as well as you can check out my other stuff down below, my social medias, as well as my side series on the channel that I do have. And, of course, my Twitch channel if you want to go give me a follow. And there's Patreon if you want to support the content I'm doing. But there's that. Feel free to leave a comment down below or share with your friends if you think they would enjoy this kind of video. And it's pretty much, I think, everything I want to say. Have a good day, people, and I will catch you around in another video.